Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we warn you.
Hickory dock.
Nice. That was some special synergy there.
That was.
Welcome to the Night of the Living. Welcome to the Night of the Living podcast. The one. I'm trying to add more articles into my speech. You know, because the more you use, the better person you are. Mm-hmm. It's listener feedback, and it is also Hispanic Heritage Month.
We're going to do Latinx from now on.
Latinx next year. It is the heretofore known as Hispanic Heritage Month, forever after now to be known as Latinx Heritage Month. And with us is our guest who has been with us and curating our features, Lewis Fowler. What up, man?
Hello, guys. How are you guys today, guys?
Good.
Guys. Hey, guys. Guys.
We're not guys. We're hot chicks.
Hot chicks.
Remember that from Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I actually don't remember that. I do remember the movie.
Where's your car, dude?
The only thing I remember that is the thing I remember that movie is the time they got the tattoos on their back.
Yeah.
You know what?
I remember No and Then best.
Oh, No and Then was pretty great.
I still break that one out.
The and then is not so vaguely racist, but it's still funny, right?
Yeah.
That's just what I remember.
It's more, for me, it's more about how easy these guys are for her to push them into buying more shit until they're like, I don't want any more. But I could see, certainly, if there's some white lady behind that speaker doing that voice.
But it's okay if I laugh at it, right? I give you permission to laugh at it.
I feel like you're allowed to laugh at anything as long as you're not laughing at somebody laying on the ground bleeding to death or something like that.
Well, it depends on who it is.
True.
Yeah. Why did that movie come back to me so hard? We need to watch it again and see if it's still funny.
It came so hard. Coming so hard is Freddy.
I came so
with us today. In the room with him as he comes so hard is Amy.
Hey now, I don't like all of this.
And watching Amy watch him come so hard is Andy.
That's my fetish. I like to watch people watch other people.
And judging all this is me, Kelley.
Yeah,
your
I'm a
host
double
for the
creeper.
day. And as I mentioned, Lewis is with us as well,
and
finishing this up. Aren't you glad you were here for this part?
Me? I've already been here for an hour of origins.
Poor man.
It's fall, y'all.
It's fall, y'all.
Yep, came on like a thief in the night.
Oh, I feel like the pandemic rushed summer right past us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, what?
I didn't have spring. I don't know what spring was. I didn't awaken from my anxiety coma until
you
like right
sprung?
now. Yeah, I didn't get sprung. No sprung from me.
Nobody walked in front of you with an itty bitty waist
And a round thing in my face.
nor a round thing in your face.
That is the second Sir Mix-a-Lot joke we've made today.
It's super easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember The Boss is Back?
Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Where he sampled Doug Bradley, Pinhead, on the song.
No.
No.
Yeah, that was The Boss is Back, was it?
I thought it was.
It was the one where it's like, I think it's called I'm Your New God. As a song about people who are addicted to cocaine or something.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's Master of Puppets.
Wait, was the album called? The album was Swap Meet Louie, right?
No, the album was Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy. Man, it's been so long.
Swap Me Louie was the first song off the album. The second song off the album.
Oh, okay.
That one did not age well.
Oh no, I gotta listen to it. I was a big fan when it first came out, and we listened to the album.
I won't lie, Mac Daddy is probably my favorite rap album of all time. But Swap Me Louie, it's got the one that's got the Asian woman in the front of it. You know, it's very, of its time.
Yeah.
If Asian stereotypes were ever of their time.
Andy?
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
As long as he's appreciating them, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
Not.
He's like, they don't have big enough dumpers.
Yeah.
No, it's in the song, mostly about how at a swap meet, Asian people try to cheat you out of money.
Okay.
You know what's funny is I never really thought about that. It never occurred to me.
You know what's funny? It's true.
It's funny because it's true.
Okay.
We'll just let that hang out there for a
I'm
second.
glad we did this.
It's not true.
We're just laying the groundwork for future apologies.
Yeah, now we have to come up with stuff because we're like, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're too nice.
So we have to throw something like this in, something gentle.
Because political correctness kills comedy.
Right. What can you even make jokes about anymore?
Exactly.
What can you say to a woman anymore?
I don't even talk to women anymore because
You can't.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to.
I'm not allowed to touch their boobs without asking anymore.
Sniff their hair.
I'm not allowed to
Grab them by the pussy.
Can't grab my pussy. Can't whip your dick out for no reason for ha-has and hee-hees.
Unless you're the president, of course.
All of a sudden.
You
this
remember
just comes up.
there was a time when you could just walk by somebody eating lunch and stick a finger in their food?
You remember you can walk by somebody eating lunch and you stick your finger in their butthole?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember in high school somebody put a grape down my butt crack when I was eating lunch.
Pretty soon you're not going to be able to stick your fingers in anything.
Hold the phone. a whole grape?
Yeah, like I had plumber butt. I was sitting at a one of the tables in the school cafeteria, and somebody made a basket with a grape. They they like arched a grape and it landed in my butt crack.
I got something to admit then. But I was when I used to manage a movie theater, if I ever saw an employee bending over, I would usually drop popcorn down their pants.
I think it just creates like a fun work environment.
I was being bullied, but
it was always a male, so I wasn't sexually harassing anyone.
Oh, but you were excluding your female coworkers. That's another kind of harassment.
It was pretty funny though.
Yeah, you made them feel unwelcome because their pants had no popcorn in them.
Well, one bad thing I will admit to doing was in the dishwashing station at the movie theater, there was this little tube that if you press a button, it shot out liquid. So whenever I was training new people, every time I was jerking out the tube and press the button, they would just spurt out everywhere. that probably should have got me fired because I did it for like my first week as a manager.
No, but back then it was cool. Now we can't do it.
Now you can't do it.
We used to.
Back then it really wasn't cool because I could tell it made people uncomfortable.
It's funny, but I get it. And no,
But where
of course
could they
not.
go? I was the manager.
Right.
Guys I used to work with would come up behind you and pour a cup of water down your shirt collar, which was like down your back where the customers couldn't see that you had a dress shirt on, and in the back it was completely soaked where somebody came up behind you and just poured an entire like 16-ounce solo cup of water.
No one ever did anything like that. If someone had ever done that to me, you probably would have got punched in the face.
That's probably why they didn't do it to you.
Yeah, that was my my first instinct, but I managed to quash it because I realized that I needed the job. All in that millisecond where I'm like, I gotta play along.
Well, basically, I did because I was in a position of power and couldn't do anything back then.
You were drunk with power.
That's what being a bully's all about.
He was also just drunk.
Yeah.
I got to plug my computer back in. I forgot to put the power in.
Oh, you piece of shit.
I thought Kelley was going to say, I got to take a moment to plug this Good Friend cereal.
Buenos Amigos cereal.
So we've determined that men are the worst, right?
Oh, bitches be bitches too. But
You guys are very
It's a di-
cynical about humans.
It's a different kind of bullying with girls, right?
Oh, it's
More
deeper
psychological.
and psychological versus a
Bad people are just
physical.
bad.
Yeah.
I remember when we were kids, my sisters, I'll say friends, because I can't come up with a better word, bullies.
I'll say friend.
They spray painted Chrissy sucks donkey dicks on the big Kmart behind
That
us.
feels like something that would be in Pen 15.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that in childhood bullying that one, that boys or girls are worse than each other. I think it's pretty across the board.
Yeah.
In a weird way, sometimes bullying is like a desperate attempt by the bully to reach out to the person they're bullying, and because they really want to be
people
their
say
friend.
that. I believe that's
I'm not
bullshit.
super cool with that. Yeah, I'm like,
Oh no, I mean,
die.
I think like it's
They're still some of you know they're
it's a
not.
blend.
Hey, you guys, hurt people, okay?
But no, I do think a majority of bullies are doing it because it gives them a sense of power and they like that. But
Well,
no,
there are
I agree
some
with
broken people out there that choose bullying as it's like the whole, how they used to say, he pulled your pigtails because he likes you.
No, I hear totally what you're saying, and I get that in a very literal, and if you get down to the bottom of it way, that there is some psychological reason that's happening. But I don't care.
Oh yeah, yeah. As a
When it's
victim of
happening
a
to me.
bully,
Yeah, that's just too
You're
bad.
gonna be the victim of a bully once you shut up.
if you
I'm sorry.
if you were, I think in any case, if you're a victim of anything, you don't owe an explanation for the motives of the person that victimized you in any way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those people, it doesn't matter why they did it to you. They did it to you.
Yeah. But I hear what you're saying. I acknowledge that is true, and that is just sort of a tough thing in society.
Yeah.
It is a
It's hard.
tough
It's
thing
hard to get through.
in
Like
society.
I just remember this one kid who was a horrible bully we went to school with. And one day I couldn't take it anymore, and I beat his ass so bad. I smashed his head into the sinks in the locker room. And
Freddie killed him.
For
That's what he's
you.
trying to say.
And our gym teacher was like,
a baby.
called me, into his office, and I thought for sure I was about to be expelled. And he said he was asking for it. You did the right thing, but
I had
you
a
can't tell me
very
I told you
Did
this.
he really say that to you?
He did. He said he really needed that ass beating. You did the right
And-
thing.
Yeah, and I did.
I had a very similar
It was Andy.
experience.
Well, here's the funny part about this story. Like that kid who was so awful to everybody.
He grew up to be president of the United States.
He's president of the United. No, like after that, he just tried to be my friend, and he would like every time he saw it, he was just so super nice. Like, and I ran to him as an adult. We were at, I think it was an Outback or something, and he was sitting at the bar, and he remembered me and just talked to me like we were best friends from then on. It was so weird.
That is
Yeah.
weird. And it's
It's
like,
like
hey,
prison. You're his, he's your
times
bitch
we
now.
ru- those times when you run into your old bullies and they're like think everything was great. It's really is weird. I've ran into a couple of those, and they like think that you're best friends now, and that
yeah,
high school was great and they didn't do all that stuff. It's really weird to have that happen.
Right.
Because you're
Agreed.
an adult now and you have to play like everything was okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you're like, you don't remember I tried to kill you.
yeah.
A gym teacher saved your life from me, and you think I'm your friend now. Like, you pushed me to the point where I was ready to explode.
Hi, Sean Ramirez.
And like that was that.
Your bully conversation is very interesting, and I'm very involved in all of your pain. But I'm looking at a beautiful puppy boy.
He's so cute.
He's such a good baby, Lewis's baby.
Aw.
He's sitting on his daddy's lap right now, staring at the microphone, and I want to scratch his face. So
He looks very happy.
He just looks contented.
I have had that where people who are assholes to me have then tried to friend me and have friended me on Facebook. And I'm like, we were not friends. I don't know why we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then, Freddie, I had a very similar experience in middle school where it was health class, but it was one of the gym teachers who was teaching it. And he'd actually been a real asshole to me, but I'd let all these people be horrible to me for a very long time. And everybody kind of just treated me awful. But I think some people were like, it was because I took it. And then somebody finally, I guess, was just like, hey, you're a lot bigger than everybody. You could beat the shit out of these people. Why do you take this? And it hadn't occurred to me. So
Yeah.
There's this kid that used to sit behind me, and I also never understood. He was fatter than me, but he would call me fat, and everybody would laugh.
That's what fat people do.
You guys don't see he's fat. He's fat. Why? Are you?
I do that too.
And
go over, you fat fuck.
If you watch My 600-Pound Life, the people on there are watching like old episodes of Facts of Life and making fun of Natalie.
Oh, but this kid would write on my back, and actually, like he once wrote, like, "Why was I born?" on the back of my jacket.
I see. He wrote on your back.
Yeah,
like he would just hop on.
He would just ride on my back.
To the cafeteria.
But what can I do?
Master Blaster.
You know,
he would write things on my back, and the teacher in there was a dick to me. But then this one day, after somebody told me that, he was doing that, and I just turned around and I like shoved him out of his desk onto the floor and kind of like stood over him. And the teacher saw it, and he just turned around and went back to the board and didn't say a goddamn word about it.
Teachers know.
After that, he was nice to me. And it was like he just disrespected me because I wouldn't stand up for myself. I mean, that's still a real dick thing to do, but
don't you feel like the teachers sometimes live vicariously through the kid that finally breaks?
Yeah,
because they want to break so bad.
I think a lot of teachers live vicariously through the bully.
Some of them do.
I'm not going to get caught up in talking about teacher psychology because I know a lot of our listeners are teachers, and I have some
probably bullies.
I don't want to make anyone feel defensive.
Our teacher listeners are super sweet, good teachers.
Yeah,
they are. I'm just
here's
saying.
The thing about teachers. Teachers are people too, and just because you're a teacher doesn't make you a saint.
No, I've just had some extremely bad
I
experiences.
was going to say, nobody knows teachers better than other teachers. They see it.
Well, one thing about what Freddy said about, I had a girl in middle school who would bully me pretty bad. And when I moved back to town from Colorado to Oklahoma City a couple of years ago, she friended me on Facebook, and we ended up dating for like a year.
Yeah, I think
I asked her why were you such a jerk to me, and she said because I liked you.
Oh, you're like, that wasn't how you should have shown me that.
It's the easiest way to get attention is to piss somebody off.
Oh,
yeah.
It's or you can draw real good. That's how I did it.
I will admit that I was a bully to some people that I liked too. There was one girl I liked, and she just switched it that said Beverly Hills 90210 on it. I said, 90210, is that how much you weigh?
Oh boy.
That doesn't even make sense because that's 90,000 pounds.
How would you even exist on the planet?
That's still a pretty good burn.
When I saw her years later, I apologized and cried because I was terrible to her, and I liked her so much. I think I liked her because she didn't like me. So
yeah.
Oh, that's more stuff for the therapists in the world.
Yeah, that's so funny to think about because that's the thing fat people do. They just advertise their weight on their sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, if you watch movies or TV shows in the 80s, the fat person also always has a shirt that says like wide low or something on it.
I like snacks.
Could you imagine those casting calls for like fat actors for those bit parts where they're like, you're just gonna basically be bullied. We're gonna dump ices on you and kick you in the nuts, and then there's just a lobby in a talent agency somewhere of a bunch of fat dudes waiting to have an icy dumped on them and to be kicked in the nuts.
But the good deal is you'll be eating donuts when you have icy dumped on you.
Yeah, there's craft services. I think about this every time I see someone who is like in a show whose physical appearance or something is clearly like why they were cast, like it's part of the role. And I guess you have to know, and that your agent, like if you're an extremely overweight person, like they're gonna be like, if you want to be an actor, these are the roles you're gonna be getting offered.
Right.
Like whenever I watch The Office and there's the episode where the other office joins them and Michael is trying to get the guy up on the desk.
Oh yeah.
And it's just one of the most horrible moments.
That's one of the most cringy things I've ever seen.
Agreed. And I'm just like, but also that guy, that's what he's getting cast for all the time.
Yeah.
And he knows it's okay. That's great. He's awesome. Or I don't know if he's awesome with it, but like
I mean, he might go home and cry at night after the shoot's over.
Yeah, I always wonder about that.
I do always think about that. Like, man, what's it like to like open up Variety or whatever, look at the casting calls like, do you have a head that's really weird somehow? And like, you're like, that's for me.
Well, the funny part, that's one of the things that, Amy and I have been revisiting pretty much everything Tim and Eric did. And those guys, they cast regular people.
Like, apparently they just put ads in Craigslist and they get some weird.
Is that how they do it?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. So, but they also let them do things. Like, once they're in, they're like, hey, you're just going to do whatever you want to do. And they point out that like normal people look grotesque if you put them in starring roles on a TV show, kind of,
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because me and Alise have talked because we love Tim and Eric, but sometimes it is a little bit like
it's exploitative.
Laughing at these people, like it feels like a little bit like
very much so.
Yeah,
like
I agree
when we were first revisiting it recently, and I was like, are they exploiting people that aren't?
I kind of
completely together.
I had a moment like that, but then the more I realized that it was more about, in a way, for me, not to overthink Tim and Eric, because it's mainly just goofy shit. Yeah. But they made a pretty powerful statement about why should these people be barred from being regular TV cast members because they're strange, and some of them aren't even that strange. They just kind of come off that way because we're used to seeing a certain kind of person on TV.
Well, there are eccentric people. That the Pierre, the puppeteer that's on Tim and Eric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing a club tour and he came through here and I met him. He's really nice, but he is very eccentric too.
Yeah.
So if anything, I think they're more exploiting the eccentricities of these people more than the actual looks of these people.
It feels more like a celebration than anything, as far as because I love, like, I never come away from, after the years of them doing the stuff and seeing those same people, like Squall. Mm-hmm. The stand-up comedian, or Qual. Yeah,
James Qual.
I really kind of fell in love with those people. Like, for me, they make the show.
Also, too, Tim and Eric aren't attractive people either.
Right. It's not like they're...
So if it was like attractive comedians doing that, I could say, yeah, it's exploitive. But the fact that they're not attractive either...
Right. They're part of it.
Right.
They're in on it. Yeah.
But is it kind of like how the fat kid was bullying Kelley?
Yes, completely.
I don't know. I don't know, and
I don't want to get. I just don't know.
I think they're celebrating the grotesque, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I think when you celebrate it, you can embrace the grotesque in yourself and others, and the world's a little better for it.
But that's the way my brain works. And as I shower less than I ever have in my life, I have learned to celebrate the grotesque in me. Or I'm like, Freddy, smell my armpits.
Yeah,
I get what Freddy is saying, because, like, an example at Horror Hound, we met a lot of interesting people, and we kind of write people off right away because of the way they look. But once you get to talk to them and know them, like, you realize that they're people and they're very eccentric.
And they're super interesting people.
Yeah, exactly. And,
except for the guy that follows me around.
That's creepy. That's different.
I tried to be nice to that guy.
Oh, that's different.
Except for the very obese guy in the Insane Clown Posse shirt and the black glitter duster and the black fedora.
Yeah, that guy. I'm gonna go ahead with my first inclination on that and not invite you to my home. But yeah, where I tried to do the thing where, he's a little awkward. I'll talk to him and be nice to him, and now that guy follows me around the convention.
I told you at the very beginning, you got to shut that shit down.
Yeah. Although the last indie show, I managed to dodge him all the time.
Yeah, he was real creepy to Alise. Real creepy to Alise.
Yeah.
Freddie, does Amy have a hall pass?
It's just for that guy, though.
Just that guy.
That's all I get? The creepo?
That guy was a little... Yeah, that guy got borderline scary.
Yeah.
I don't know if he listens.
Do I have a hall
He might be
pass?
listening to you right now.
I don't think he knows who we are as people.
No.
Yeah.
But it's weird that he was, like, so obsessed with Amy.
I don't care.
Like if he didn't listen, why?
I want to go back to the hall pass conversation.
Is it 'cause she's
explain
beautiful?
who I have?
That's kind of a backhanded compliment. I can't believe somebody's so into her.
Amy,
Freddy.
you have a hall. No, that's not what I meant.
I know that's not what you
said,
meant,
I
That's
said maybe.
exactly what he meant.
What I said immediately after that was maybe it was because she's so beautiful. Maybe you didn't hear that part.
That was an
There's a lot of
addendum.
maybes getting thrown around.
I was saying instead of. I'm saying
This is
that
fun.
I'm thinking the guy's obsession with Amy was
I
she's a
think what
beautiful
I'm
woman
hearing-
at a horror convention.
Yes, I'm gorgeous.
Versus
Maybe
his obsession is because she's a podcast person.
Maybe it's just the woman who talked to him.
That could be it. Even
No, but I will say that clearly this conversation makes me realize I have many hall passes because you're in trouble.
you can have Tim and Eric. Gross. You can have them at the same time if that helps.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Well, Amy, it's funny that you brought up your stalker because I think I have one at Horror Hound
You
too.
do,
but,
yeah.
You have more than one, Andy.
But I'm not off put by
Kelly
the,
had one.
Yeah, I'm not off put by the stalkerish
did.
because I'm so starved for attention that I welcome it.
Yeah, Andy, but that's not healthy.
You
Yeah.
have to tell me off air. I'm not sure to whom you refer.
Well, I think I'm stretching the definition
Yeah.
for you. There was just one person I'm thinking of, but yes, we'll discuss it later.
Yeah.
If I come to Horror Hound, I like a couple of stalkers, please.
Yeah, but I will. I don't want to put out the impression that I have ever felt unsafe, except for that one dude. And I think everybody at Horror Hound and all the people who come to that and all the horror community has been nothing but very respectful to me
Yes.
in my space.
And we have a game plan with him, that guy now. We make sure that you're never alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Everything's
Next
fine.
time, I'll just tell him to leave you the fuck alone. That's what I did with
Just not
Alise.
sure what I would accomplish. I don't think he's quite.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next time
Yeah.
I'll reach out for his junk and start rubbing it vigorously for him.
He did seem very childlike.
But anyway. Speaking of childlike, I want to say that we attempted to watch Scoob the other
Exclamation
night.
point, right? Is there an exclamation
And how long do you think we made it, Andy? 20 minutes?
I pulled the plug at about 20 minutes
Yeah.
in.
I was like, no.
Is it that bad?
I was like,
not
are we
good.
going to finish this?
It is not good.
I don't know, Lewis, you may find some redeeming qualities in it because you're very open and optimistic film goer, kind of like myself, where I feel like you give things a chance that
Oh, we gave it a chance, Freddie.
I
We
think
gave it.
the issue with the movie is it feels like, and we were talking about this last night, it feels like kids trying to write a movie with some jokes for grown-ups in it, but they don't really understand what jokes for grown-ups are supposed to be.
You know, I really think that the pandemic, a lot of people are talking about the pandemic was terrible for Hollywood. I think it was great for Hollywood because they had all these shitty movies on slate. They knew they were going to have to release them. The pandemic happened, they put them straight to video, and it's like, make some money that way.
Yeah. And like sit back and stop cranking out content like it's the thing you were jerking off where you worked, Lewis, the dishwashing liquid. And like sit
What a weird
back
phrase.
and just stop spraying us with your crap.
Did he tell that story
take
as
a
part of
minute.
this show, or was that a part of Origins?
It was
That was
this
part of
show.
the show.
Oh, okay. I was about to say if you told that out of context and you're like, it's like you jerking off,
You know that
Lewis.
thing you jerked off where you worked?
Remember that? That's what Hollywood is like these days.
But I mean, like, take a breath. Yeah,
Agreed.
release all the shit right now. That's fine. We all have so much to catch up on anyway.
The problem is if they take a breath and they don't continue to churn, they're going to lose money, and that's like the end of the world for them.
I'm just telling you, there's plenty of content out there on all the
Yeah.
streaming services.
Well,
and
we
everything.
have two things right now. Either they're going to release all the crap and then start putting out good stuff, or they realize that people like crap. They'll just keep on churning out nothing but
Oh, I
crap.
hadn't thought about that.
I think that's really where they're
It's
at.
called the
like-
Marvel engine.
Because ultimately, studios, obviously, I mean, this is super obvious, but I mean, they don't really care what the content is. Their bottom line is the money. So if they can make money off of garbage and good stuff, they'll put both out in the same. They don't care. They hope it's good and makes a lot, and everybody
Right.
loves it.
I do
but
feel like usually there's always some earnest person involved that really cares.
there might be one or two earnest crew. I mean, people on the crew, but I don't know about the people pulling the strings.
The actual,
where the
well,
money is.
I mean, like it took somebody caring enough about a project to bring it in and pitch
You
it.
say that. You said that. I remember that Key and Peele's sketch about Gremlins too?
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's in the movie.
That's a great
It's definitely
sketch.
in the movie.
It's in the movie.
And that's like, I mean, that's a good
Spider-Man
example.
Gremlin, it's in the movie.
Yeah.
Freddie, I think that's a nice way to look at it but I feel the people behind the Scoob movie didn't care at all. They just were hoping to ride on the name.
Yeah, I don't think everything gets pitched. I think there's a lot of properties where there are probably executives having people go through and say, find stuff that we own the rights to, that we can hurry and get something out.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
there's still kind of a pitch element involved because the people who are assigned to do that job, they have to come back and present their case and say, this is why we should produce this property we have sitting in cold storage. Like, and I think the people who do that typically have a grand vision. They think they're going to make the best version of whatever they're pitching. And then it just somehow, you get too many hands involved or it's misguided and it just falls apart. But I'm not I'm not as cynical about, I am cynical about like the money making, like turning art into product type thing. But at the same time, I think people who go for that type of job where they want to scour through, properties and scripts and stuff like that really are people who are really passionate about movies.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because otherwise, why would you do it? I mean, like, why would you just hunt and hunt and hunt through these things that are sitting that you bought rights to?
Well, I think a lot of those are PAs that they force to go through.
But again, the reason they're a PA at a movie production house is because they're passionate about movies.
Yes, I agree that there are people in every shitty movie situation. There are people who are super passionate and artistic about it. But I think overall, again, where the money comes from they don't give a goddamn.
Right. And I think that's true. Something that really illustrates that, if you have CBS All Access, there's a documentary that just came out called The Console Wars, which is kind of like that that Netflix series they did about the history of video games. But this one's High Score. Thank you. This is a much more specific angle on it. It's a one feature-length documentary about Sega coming up to try to take down Nintendo.
Oh yeah, I really want to watch this because I lived this.
Right, and it's great, but it is a very cynical look at it because you realize that everything they did at Sega and Nintendo were these super calculated, mostly manipulative children, like sharks, like these guys in these boardrooms. It's not that they're big video game fans and that's why they're working for Nintendo of America or for Sega, but they are guys who know how to sell things.
Yeah. And
they come in and they focus group the shit out of stuff and to the point where it's soulless. And it's the same thing. Yeah. I think with a lot of executives, but that's like the approach. I think it was more like striking in the video game industry because there were fewer competitors. So you could see that everyone involved seemed to be coming from this real cutthroat thing. There weren't like these real inspired young guys just coming up the way you kind of see with indie film and stuff like that. That's happening now with video games more, I think. But just entertainment in general, when you get these people at the top that realize this could be like a huge boon, I'm not going to sell pictures anymore to Walmart. I'm going to sell units of entertainment instead. And them, it's just another unit. Right. Yeah.
And if you have CBS All Access, watch Picard.
Oh yeah. Picard's good.
It's a good show.
Fantastic. Discovery.
I really like Discovery.
Lower Decks.
Yeah.
All the
Lower
Star
Decks is
Treks.
not very good at all.
I like it.
Picard and Discovery were fantastic.
They
Picard
are.
especially though.
Lower Decks has grown on me. I was a little let down when it started because I thought it was going to be more extreme with the humor, like because it was a Rick and Morty guy. I thought it was going to be a little more like out there. Mm-hmm. But I think they're finding their rhythm in the last two episodes.
I really enjoy it.
It's starting to get funnier.
It delights me.
But they're also telling more traditional Star Trek stories too, which is a nice blend. But yeah, I agree, Liz. I don't know how many of the episodes have you seen?
Picard
of Lower Decks.
Oh, I saw the first one and I just said, this is not for me.
It does get much better because I do feel like maybe they workshopped it a little. That's so cute.
Kelly's holding his little kitty baby. Which one is that?
This is Penny. She
that's
came
Penny.
over to see me.
Hi, Penny.
With Picard, did you crave like more old cast members? Did you feel like
Okay, I was really worried the story was going to be just a rehash or something.
Yeah.
They really did something that I did not expect, and I'm pretty eager for season 2 now.
Yeah.
I really like Picard a lot. It's really good.
And in Discovery, I really didn't like season 1, but season 2 was great. So season 2, that show really kept me.
Yeah, the Red Angel storyline was really good.
Yeah.
So,
the thing
good.
I like them showing Riker in like those little doses you got of his crewmates. Like it just left me with longing for more of that group. I know that you can't do that because everybody's getting so old.
Not only that, but also it had 7 and 9. It had other characters too. So it was pretty encompassing the whole universe.
I'd like to see more people though.
It's just hard to tell really with what if it's the main timeline or if it's the movie timeline or what's so.
Right.
I like the fact that they stuck pretty close to the TNG mythos. So
yeah, it's a damn good show. But it would just cook my beans if I could see them all together again.
You're like, why can't they just give me this?
I want to see Old Worf.
Yeah.
What an interesting phrase, Freddie.
Cook your beans.
I don't know where that came from or if I'm using that correctly or not.
It sounds so old. It sounds so old timey.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
It's my version of Dick in the Dirt.
Doesn't cook my beans, or it does cook my beans.
It sounds like something from the antebellum South or something.
If they don't do that though, will it burn your beans?
It'll burn my beans. I don't want my beans burned.
Well,
they don't burn on the grill.
Great.
Took a whole lot of trying.
Oh, I can't believe this whole conversation sprouted out of Scooby-Doo.
Fuck that movie though, but we watched Bad Boys for Life. It was aight, and
that movie's good.
Yeah, I really liked it
okay.
a lot.
Bad Boys 2 was so good though.
Yeah.
Did Michael Bay direct Bad Boys for Life?
No, it was
it sure felt like it.
It was a team to
yeah, they did something else really cool, and I can't remember what it was. I'll have to look
they're directing another movie too. That's cool. Let me look it up here. Go ahead, keep talking.
Bad Boys for Life. Just I don't know that anything could be as good and as pure and wonderful as Bad Boys 2. So I think in a certain way I was always going to be let down. But I thought Martin Lawrence was fantastic.
It was Adil El Abir and Bilal Falah who directed Bad Boys for Life.
I see.
And they're directing Beverly Hills Cop 4.
That's right. Yeah, which God, remember how bad 3 was?
No, I don't think I've ever even seen it.
It's best not to.
It's not good, but I thought it was all right.
It's a victim of what we were just talking about, where they had this really awesome concept that got whittled down over and over again until it was unrecognizable by the time they filmed it. Like, it was supposed to take place in Disneyland, and they couldn't do that. They had to change stuff, and then from there it just got chiseled down till it was like the script they originally had for it apparently was this amazing story, and they kept cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting until it was like, just a nightmare.
Was it still Eddie Murphy and McNulty?
Yeah.
You're thinking of 48 Hours, Andy.
Oh, well, what's the
I think he's thinking of another 48 Hours, which was terrible.
Yeah, that's true. That was another mistake sequel.
Judge
Those
Reinhold?
guys, by the way, are directing the Miss Marvel series for Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, Miss Marvel.
I thought the movie was well directed. I just didn't care for the story.
You don't watch Bad Boys for the story, Amy.
Shut up, I do too.
Exactly.
Well, I think it was fun that it was a telenovela, which is weird because we were just talking about when we covered El Chicano that there were moments like that, and it's Joe Carnahan.
Carnahan, yeah.
And plus, it's the same woman too, the woman who plays the
it's the
drug
same
lord. Yeah, drug lord in Bad Boys for Life. She's the woman at the end of El Chicano shooting the gun.
I didn't even realize that.
She's the machine gun lady at the end.
Yeah.
Shit, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of ups it for me just slightly. I thought it was fun.
Wouldn't it have been fun if it was
Just
the same
didn't
character?
cook
she
my
was playing?
beans.
Amy, you probably would have been a lot more fun if they were white guys for life, wouldn't it?
Oh, White Chicks for Life. Is that what they? Wouldn't that be great if that's what they called that sequel's coming? By the way, in case you guys are worried about not
White
having
Chicks
it.
for Life.
So fucking worried.
I feel
I
like
to pull my shorts away from my balls. I just wanted to let everybody know that real quick.
okay.
I want the sequel to Little Man.
Little man,
for
I
life.
forgot about that. Or the head detective. Remember that sketch?
Detective Baby Legs from Rick and Morty.
Oh Jesus!
It's funny you bring that up because didn't like last year Marlon Wayans made that movie where he plays 4 different people.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
I don't.
I think that movie comes out once a year.
Yeah.
At least.
It's funny because everybody talks about Adam Sandler's publicized Netflix deal. They don't talk about the Wayans brothers publicized because they're making movies for Netflix now. Because they had that one movie, one of the Wayans did where he like Groundhog Day. Did you see that one?
No.
Where it's like he has to relive something every day.
Oh.
Did I dream that, or is that real?
I'm
It
sure
might be
it's
real.
real. I don't. Marlon Wayans isn't normally on my radar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but-
I mean,
Sorry.
maybe if he was white Wayans, he'd be on your radar.
If it was Marlon Perkins from Wild Kingdom.
If it
The
was
Wayans on my list that I enjoy right now is Damon Wayans Jr.
she likes Tad Wayans
New Girl.
Yeah,
of the Massachusetts Wayans.
of the Massachusetts Wayans.
You like Bruce Wayans?
Oh my God, that would be a great
Like
Batman
Lance and
spinoff.
Simon, Lance
Yeah,
and
right.
Simon Wayans.
So Marlon Wayans did a movie called Sextuplets, where it looks like he plays
Yeah.
many characters.
Oh, yes. I remember
that's-
seeing
yeah, that's
the trailer.
The
for
trailer.
that.
It looks
Yeah.
so.
That was like Jack and Jill times 6.
Yeah, I almost thought that was like a joke when it came out. Like I was
my
like, oh,
gosh.
is this like a Funny or Die thing he's doing?
Molly Shannon and Michael Ian Black and Glenn Turman.
Yeah,
a
you know
decent-
why? Because they need money.
Well, we all need money. Good for
No,
them.
I'm just saying
Get that
they
money.
got Molly Shannon's not like.
I know.
I mean, although she did make that movie about Emily Dickinson that I really want to watch.
Oh yeah, I heard that was really good.
I did too.
Although, if you want to see what I think the best Emily Dickinson thing is, that Apple Plus TV show, Emily or Dickinson, that has Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, is that like a mystery a little bit?
No, it's a comedy. It's Jane Krakowski plays her mom. It's just really, really funny and dark. Like a lot of it's humor based upon how fragile life was at the time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of dark jokes, and I don't know. I feel like you'd really enjoy it.
It sounds funny. I do like, yeah.
And somebody plays Death in it. It's a rapper, and now I cannot remember who it was.
MC Death.
Maybe. Let me see.
This is a Molly Shannon movie?
I'm talking about the TV
series.
show.
But I was talking about there's a Molly Shannon movie where it's sort of like a comedy, but also like a biopic about Emily Dickinson and her, I guess, being a lesbian in the 1800s, early 1900s, whenever it was.
Oh, Wild Nights with Emily.
Yeah, I think that might be what it is.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Well,
Yeah. So
He said,
Well, what?
well, that's what he said.
You don't think it looks great, Amy?
Oh no, I was making fun of Lewis saying, well,
Ah.
well. Did we want to do some news stuff?
Wiz
you wanna
Wiz
move on?
Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa plays Death in it, and he's really good. Anywho,
Yeah, I got 3 news stories to
He's
throw
got
at
3
you.
newses.
Stories is a stretch, but I have 3 things to talk about.
All right.
That's exciting. Well, let's do that.
Okay.
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Remember, human beings are their food.
Oh my.
So normally I don't talk about trailer releases as news on this show just because I can't show it to people, and it's sort of silly to be like, hey, a trailer was released for this. That's news. Makes sense on a site, but I am going to tell you about this because the trailer for the new Nick Frost, Simon Pegg horror show about paranormal investigators called Truth Seekers has dropped, and so I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited to. And I've been kind of watching this progress as it's developed. And Truth Seekers, as I've probably mentioned once or twice on the show, is a supernatural comedy drama that features Nick Frost, Samson Kayo. I'm not sure if I read that right. Simon Pegg and Emma Darcy as a group of part-time paranormal investigators, and they team up. They are teaming up to uncover a deadly conspiracy, and there is a trailer that has been released now. So everyone who is interested in that and who's been waiting, feel free to.
Is it a movie or a Netflix show?
I think it's a Prime show. It's a series. I think it's a series. But it's I think it's on Prime.
Amazon Prime?
Yeah. But that's about, that's really it as far as that goes. It's exciting. I like those dudes so much. And
you do.
I'm super excited.
I can tell you. And it is a series, and it's going to premiere October 30th on Prime.
Very psyched about that one. I will probably jump into that one. Everyone keeps hassling me and Lisa about The Boys. Like, no one can believe we haven't watched it yet, and I just...
Hey, Kelley.
Yeah.
Watch it now.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to bully you.
I can't with that.
He's going to ride on your back.
I watched the Jewish version called The Goys.
I would, yeah.
The Boys is so
bullying
fantastic.
people about what they're watching.
Speaking of Halloween movies that are going straight to streaming services, you guys see the trailer for that Hubie Halloween yet?
No.
What is it called again?
It's on Netflix. Hubie Halloween.
Hubie.
It's Sam Sandler movie. It's like where he's playing his canteen boy character from Saturday Night Live as a guy who's trying to be the defender of Halloween
Oh my
in a
God.
small town where a slasher's killing people.
Oh wow. Hold
So
up.
if you guys get a chance, check that out. It looks very funny. It's got a lot of really good people in it too.
We're gonna have a chance to check it out right now. As a matter of
No,
fact,
I don't want to.
I want to. I want to get a reaction to this because I'm real curious because I haven't heard of this.
When
I know
your
you
ADD
hate
kicks in.
You hate me. She hate me.
Well, hello, my ghouls and goblins. I know you've got your costumes picked out for the frightful festivities. And I hope you all get more treats than tricks.
Halloween's upon us!
Is he a good guy? Hubie Dubois is the nicest guy in this town.
Here are some happy Halloween word churches. You can pass it out to the kids.
Thank you so much.
As a trained volunteer, I know what it's like when the spooky fun gets out of hand. Officer G, the supermarket's selling expired bacon. Janet at the library has not been herself lately. I heard a voice in the sewer.
I'm sorry, I didn't recognize him.
It's pretty impressive how long he's been a loser.
Oh, messing with Hubie Dubois.
Murder! A Salem tradition.
You gotta expect a scare here or there.
There's something off in this town.
Oh, Tim Meadows.
Mr. Lambert? Is that you? Oh, no.
Salem PD?
Yes, officer, this is Hubie Dubois.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look good
Salem needs me.
when you're alone.
What are you going to do, Mr. Dubois?
What I do every October 31st. Make sure every citizen is protected. No one in Salem is safe tonight.
So would you lose your thermos?
Oh, that'll never happen.
Anyway.
We got an unsolved mystery here.
Oh.
I know who did this.
Not now, Hubie. Mayor, I suggest we cancel Halloween immediately.
We ain't canceling a damn thing.
This is some Dateline NBC shit.
You're the best person I know. That's why you're a hero.
Not cool.
Hello.
Help me, Larry! Help me! Help me!
Okay, that looks really fun.
That does look fun. I love Adam Sandler. And was that Julie Bowen?
Yeah. Yeah, all kinds of
Happy
people.
Gilmore, like crew back together a little bit there. That's fun.
I didn't see David Spade or Rob Schneider, so maybe I can watch this.
Oh, you know they're in there.
The sheriff, though, right? Is
Kevin
that Kevin
James?
James?
Kevin James, yeah.
I love him too.
Maya Rudolph, Tim
This
Meadows.
looks like I'm super into this. I'll give
Absolutely.
this a look. I mean, I love their remaking of all these songs but I understand it. I get it.
That was a real long trailer, huh?
I don't love it.
It was like a 3-minute trailer.
All right.
And it's from the director of Heavyweights.
Hey, all right.
So be glad of that.
Yeah,
It's going to be sacrilege to some people, but something about Adam Sandler just really turns me off.
Yeah.
Well, you're with most people now. Have you noticed that there was a huge Adam Sandler backlash?
They're called Jew-hating Nazis.
Whoa.
Andy, is that what it is? Did you figure it out? Were you able to put your finger on it?
No, I just feel like Adam Sandler's fans are really into Adam Sandler. I feel like
that's
Proud
true of
Boys
all
are Adam
fans.
Sandler fans.
When you're a fan of something, you're really into it by definition. You ding-a-ling.
I seriously doubt the Proud Boys are Adam Sandler.
I can see what you're saying. You have an image of what an Adam Sandler fan is in your head, and there are a lot of things you don't like.
I really like Adam Sandler.
Kelly, you're part of the problem.
I know,
but I get it. I can understand why somebody might have seen Grown Ups and been like, Adam Sandler is no longer my thing. But like, honestly,
even when he was big, like the 90s and early 2000s, it was not my bag.
Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore are two of my absolute very favorite movies.
Adam Sandler's got good movies. He's got bad movies.
Exactly.
Right?
I agree.
And his good movies are really good. His bad movies are really bad. So,
yep.
He's divisive. I understand that, but I really do enjoy the good stuff he does.
Agreed.
Oh, I still have that up. Sorry, Amy was distracting me by saying that the screen was distracting. We were double distracted.
So we've all watched or listened to Hubie Halloween, and then you have the Truth Seekers to watch. That trailer.
Yeah. So, would you like me to move on to the second thing?
Bitch, you know this.
That's news-ish. Legendary Comics has released an omnibus of the Trick or Treat graphic novels from the movie by Mike what's his nuts, who I really like,
Doherty.
Mike Doherty. Yeah. Who also did Godzilla King of the Monsters. I'm excited to see whatever he puts out next. So these are comics. They're apparently a bunch of graphic novels, and there's now an omnibus of it. That's it.
All right. Comics fans.
I feel like if you like comic books and you also really enjoy the movie Trick or Treat, which again, great movie, sort of a podcast favorite.
What if you hate comic books and hate Trick or Treat?
I would say still check it out.
Because it could change
On the
your mind.
off chance.
And that's it. Like, just check it out.
By the way,
Even
they
if
did
you hate
officially. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say they officially announced they are making a second Trick or Treat.
Oh, good.
Good. That was such a fun little delight. Very good Halloween movie. Something we typically watch on Halloween.
Yeah, and I think there's like an extra level of attachment because he's kind of a local boy in a way.
Mike Doherty?
Yeah.
I feel like they've been announcing that for the last 5 years.
Not Cincinnati.
No, not Cincinnati, but he's from this little town like near. Is it near Fairborn?
I'm gonna look it up. So you just shut your mouth.
All right.
There's only one good thing that came out of Trick or Treat, and that was Andy's costume.
Oh yeah, Andy.
It was a great costume.
Are you not a fan of the movie, Lewis?
No, I didn't care for it at all.
Well, aren't you
It's
just
it's one of those things where it's like hyped up so much.
Oh
And
yeah.
when I saw it, I just like
See, we saw it.
didn't care for it.
Well, we saw it before there was build up.
Right. I think it might have been tarnished for me
Trick or
too.
Treat hipsters.
Yeah.
Like I we watched it. We didn't know anything about it. It just looked good, and it became. I feel like it was like a natural cult movie.
Yeah, and I think if you saw it with that surprise, yeah, it was probably interesting to see the first time, but I just didn't. I just heard so much about it. I was like going to change horror movie. All this overblown, overhyped things about it that I saw it. I was just like, I like Brian Cox. That was the only person I really liked it. Is the old man.
He is so good. If you haven't,
Brian Cox. Yeah.
Have you guys seen Succession?
No.
He's so fucking great.
If you got a really good Brian Cox movie. There's a movie called Red Dog or something. It's about this guy who he's an old man. You know, his wife's dead.
It's like
the
John
Jack
Wick
Ketchum
almost.
movie.
It's like John Wick with an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the Jack Ketchum movie where the teenagers kill the guy's dog?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Red. That's right. Red.
Okay. That really is a good movie. I mean, the ending, I think, pissed a lot of people off, but it makes a lot more sense than John Wick does.
I still haven't seen any of the John Wick movies.
I saw the first.
Me neither, but I want to.
Yeah, me too.
See, it's okay.
It could.
You
it could
act like
be.
sometimes like this is some defect in your life.
No, it's something.
He's like, I haven't done that, and he expects judgment from you.
There's only one defect in his life.
You bitch.
I'm a bully.
Little bully bitch.
He likes you though. He only bullies those he loves.
Why was I born?
But that is in it of itself something psychologically we should put an end to.
So stop hassling me about the boys, everybody.
So here's the thing. Like, I'm worried that John Wick will not live up to the hype for me. It was one of those movies that it's not that other people want me to see it. It's that I've wanted to see it and it's been out forever.
Honey,
why haven't I watched it?
Donald Trump is president. There are more things to be worried about than whether or not John Wick is going to live up to the fucking hype.
Look, just when you watch it, just lean back and take your dick out. And if you're not liking what you're seeing, just start rubbing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll feel better about it.
You know, can I tell you what? After the election, if Biden wins, rent John Wick.
Yeah.
And if not, just don't even mess with it.
You'll have the afterglow of maybe things changing.
Right.
So you guys solved my problem.
The way Kelley is tired of people griping on him about watching The Boys. I gotta admit, I'm the same way about Cobra Kai. I keep trying to tell everybody to watch Cobra Kai. Nobody's listening to me. But I think that the people here at this podcast will love it more than anyone.
I agree, and I will watch Cobra Kai probably before I watch The Boys, because when I first saw the trailer, because I love the Karate Kid a lot.
Yeah,
and I thought it looked like a great way to revisit it, and so I definitely am on board.
I never ever thought in my life that William Zabka or Johnny Lawrence character could make me cry. He does about 3 times in the show.
You know, it's funny. Like
it's that good.
He had a moment, like in the original Karate Kid. They didn't have to make him look kind of vulnerable at the end because you wanted him to get his ass beat regardless. Oh, Amy hasn't. Do you remember any of this? Like, am I spoiling anything?
I don't care.
Well, anyways, like
ending, I mean,
they made him. He had a humanity to him, like that other '80s villains didn't show.
Well, if you watch the show too, Johnny tells his side of the story to his students, and it's way different because in the show he says that he was just hanging out with his girlfriend, and LaRusso punched him at the beach because LaRusso did draw first blood.
Yeah,
and then at the school dance, you know, LaRusso put the water hose on him. Yeah, that, and then it was the championship. You know, so basically you hear it from Johnny's side of the story too, which I hate to side with a bully, but it kind of makes sense, you know, because every story is different. So
yeah, I actually love that. Like, I'm very excited to watch Cobra Kai because I love the idea of giving the other side of the story and then going back and taking things from the movie that were obviously intended to be great for, you know, Daniel as the hero, and taking those and flipping them so that you see them as an older, wiser person. And I think in the originals, whether it was intentional or not, I think that Williams, like the story, like Johnny, where they humanize him, and I think it shows like that adults, like who are teaching kids, have a responsibility to do it, you know.
Yeah.
And how these are just kids. Johnny's just a kid, and he's being instructed by this insane person, whereas Daniel is also just a kid, and he's learning lessons from a good person. And I think then you see, you know,
well, in season 2, Kreese returns.
Oh yeah,
and that's pretty messed up. And there's a real sad part about other members of the Cobra Kai that happens at one point. That's pretty sad. But at the end of season 2, there's a huge cliffhanger that I think once you guys see, it'll blow your mind.
I can't wait to watch this.
It really is too bad the Pat.
But instead, you're watching fucking
around.
Babylon 5.
Listen, I'm out of Star Trek and I needed something, and Freddy is like Babylon 5, and it's fine. It's dumb as shit and cheap.
Come
half
on,
the people are
Babylon
dead.
5. Come on.
Lewis, the way you described
so
it, the way you described the Cobra Kai about hearing the other side, I just got an idea for the Kyle Rittenhouse movie.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
So I want to hear his side and how he became.
Well, you know the Antifa shot
radicalized.
first.
Yeah.
Listen, Andy, what else are 17-year-old white kids supposed to do right now but grab their fucking parents' guns and go out and shoot black people because goddamn it, they're scared. They're scared. All right? What else are they going to do when all they
isn't for white kids anymore?
Yeah. Like he can't even just be a white kid without it being a problem on Twitter.
He's like, 3 years ago, I would have been working at the Stone Cold Stone Creamery.
I do love, I'm not trying to get political. This is just a funny thing to me. I love the idea now that if you're scared, it justifies you like blowing someone away because you were maybe kind of scared about it.
Yeah. It's so subjective too. Like, that you can't let just being scared be your only
of bugs, but that doesn't mean they're going to kill me.
I make jokes about blowing my house up when I find a big spider, but I don't do it.
I want to hear from the spider. I want to hear from the spider side.
Honestly, the spider's got a perfectly acceptable reason for existing. I get it.
I'm just here trying to eat bugs, and this woman comes up with a shoe and tries to stop me.
Have you guys ever?
Does she know that I'm a Christian? I'm just as God made me.
And you are beautiful spider.
Do you know I work for charities?
Oh, little spider charities.
The bugs in my house, this is the rule. You come in here, you can live here fine. I don't care. If I ever see you, it's fucking on. I can't see you, then I have to kill you.
I was just playing in the dark because the light hurts my eyes.
They're very sensitive.
Well, isn't that part of the problem, Amy? You're not even seeing people,
right?
You're buggus.
We should make
Amy doesn't see bug.
No,
she doesn't see bug. She's bug blind.
I don't see species. Okay.
I don't see legs.
I see hearts.
What do you guys think of a story telling
lives matter?
The Pam and Roy breakup from The Office from Roy's perspective?
Andy, all lives matter.
I actually think you do get that. There's an episode.
That Roy's wedding.
Yeah, Roy's wedding.
Yeah.
You actually get that.
Yeah, kind of. I'm thinking a deeper
Freddy.
exploration.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because it doesn't turn out that Pam and Jim are kind of the assholes in the Office sometimes.
Yes,
frequently.
Yeah.
Everybody's an asshole on The Office.
Yeah.
That's the point. People are assholes sometimes.
But I think people were blind
Jim,
to them.
Yeah,
because they're so likable.
I think what's great is that when you do revisit it, you can see that the writers are deliberately trying to show you like the reality behind Jim and Pam.
Yeah.
Like it's great, actually. There's a lot of great psychology in
It's
that
funny
show.
too because a lot of the characters around them think that they're the worst people.
Yeah, they think they're assholes. Like Jim, anytime he tries to do something in the office that he thinks is positive, it backfires humongously.
Every time.
Everybody's pissed at him. And then Michael comes in and fixes it. And then he's like, I used to do that. And it's just constantly hammering home to Jim that maybe you're a lot like Michael, who you think is such a piece of shit.
It's especially evident in that arc where Jim's the co-manager.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The birthdays.
Looking back on it, I find it very hard to root for Jim sometimes because he's done some really bad things to Pam.
You're right, but I think what's great about it is then they'll build moments in where people realize it.
Yeah.
Like when Jim starts reading all the complaints Dwight has against him.
It's not. It's not just the work stuff. It's like the relationship stuff with Pam that bothers me the most.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it's supposed to. I think.
Like when he bought that house and it was supposed to be like some big romantic thing.
I would have stabbed you, Freddie.
I know.
That is a big romantic thing to do.
Yeah.
I just bought all of you houses.
Aww. Louis, that is really sweet.
Well, I just want you to know I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm just gonna burn it down.
Turns out the crack house is a.
I've always wanted to burn a house down. Now I can.
It's your house. Do what you want with it.
You've really made my dream come true. I'm gonna go buy gasoline now.
So there you go. Good. Do we have any more news?
One more. I don't
One more
even know
news?
if this is worth talking about because I only chose this because I was tired of scrolling and the word Malcolm McDowell stood out to me. So I was like, I'll talk about this. I don't actually.
The word Malcolm McDowell. Just say the first thing that comes to mind.
It has a Star Trek connection too. So
All right.
Is he dead?
No. He's very much alive. Well,
Okay.
he's definitely alive. I don't know. If he's
Sorry, I'm
much
very
alive.
much.
You don't know if he's very much.
I've got the Kelley's.
He died in Star Trek Generations.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because the director of Star Trek Generations is reuniting with his Star Trek Generations actor, Malcolm McDowell, and they are making a movie or have made it called Benefactor. And it
Star Trek
is-
Benefactor?
Yeah, Star Trek Benefactor. It's that director, David Carlson's first movie in 12 years. So this should be awesome. And it is scripted by Mark and Anna Cassaday, whoever they are. And the Benefactor is, Malcolm McDowell is starring. Hold on. It's a once prolific painter who takes up an artist residence after the death of his wife. However, he soon fears that the house may be haunted, like you do, and that its ghosts are driving him to madness. He's like, it's not just the madness driving me mad. It's these ghosts that are definitely real.
These ghosts are driving me mad. They're making me crazy.
So if you like Malcolm McDowell and you like Star Trek Generations, and you're like, what have these dudes been up to since that happened? When this movie drops, you can watch it and find out a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it.
You didn't mention something I thought you might
Mm-hmm.
in the news, which is that Scream 5 has officially begun shooting.
Yes, I didn't mention it. There was news about it. And listen, I love Scream. I love Scream a lot. And I really love I love the original trilogy. Even when people are like 2 and 3 are shitty, I disagree. 4 was fine enough in the theater. I don't have any interest in anything past 3 that much. It just doesn't work for me as well. So I deliberately didn't talk about Scream.
How was that TV show?
TV show, I only saw the first
season. We saw the first 1 or 2 episodes of the second. And
we need to go back. I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like the big chainsaw death in the first. I think it was the first season. Like that's one of those shows where I'm fine with just be like, yeah, go ahead and try to shock me with the kills in this because it's so everything else holding it up, the structure under it is so like flimsy.
Yeah,
that I'm like, all right, somebody's about to die. Let's see this. Let's see what they did for the TV show.
See, this is what I was saying at the beginning of the show. Like, if Hollywood can't crank out new shit, well, there's stuff I never went back to for whatever reasons. I'll go back to that stuff and rewatch Scream.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm excited to see it come back again. I thought 4 was a lot of fun, but I haven't gone back and watched it since I saw it in the theater. I don't think.
Really, the only thing about I liked seeing like what they did with the old kid. I mean, it really for me was just a nostalgia. Let's see what they do with the old people. And it was entertaining enough to watch the new teenagers run around and do what they do, but it just didn't have the same feel for me.
Yeah, I agree. And plus, Hayden Panettiere really irritated me in that movie.
Hayden Panettiere?
Oh,
Yeah.
she was one of my favorite parts, actually.
Yeah, I liked 4. I thought 4. The first time I saw 3, I really didn't like it very much, but it's kind of grown on me too.
Right.
I had to like.
Was 3 Scott Foley and Laurie Metcalf?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched
Laurie Metcalf was in 2.
2.
Yeah,
Yes.
3 had Scott Foley in it.
3 had Scott Foley. It's been so
Scott
long
Foley,
since I've gone back and watched
Lance
2.
Henriksen.
Yeah.
Well, I like 3 just because it's part of the franchise and it's part of the story, but on its own, to me, it's not a good movie.
Right.
I like it. I like where it went. I mean, I have to consider it in context with the other 2. So, I mean, I guess if I watched that and there was no context to it, it wouldn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. But as part of the series, I think it's a natural progression where it should, it's really the only place it could have gone.
None of them are really good movies.
Your Face isn't a good movie. Scream is, I'm sorry, I must disagree, but of course this is a subjective thing, so this is one of those cases where you can say, agree to disagree, and it's fine. It's totally fine.
Agree to disagree.
Can't agree to disagree about Donald Trump because
true.
that affects people's actual fucking existence. But you can agree to disagree about whether or not the Scream movies are good, and Scream 1 is subjectively perfect.
That's it. I'm shooting everyone.
I'm going to shoot you.
That's what I say.
With your hose?
I'm a 17-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys saw The Curse of La Llorona?
Yeah.
In the Conjuring universe movie?
I have not seen it.
Okay.
Feel free to spoil it.
It was okay.
It was fine.
But this year, a Mexican film came out called Ya Llorona, which I'm hoping we can do next year.
Yeah.
That looks really spooky and really pretty misses that. It hits all the buttons that the American version didn't.
Nice.
So check out La Llorona, the 2020 version when you get a chance, because I really think it's if I can find it, it might make my list this year. My small best of list.
Yeah, I actually saw. I either saw it in like a newsletter from Shudder or someone posted it. The trailer for it, I think.
Yeah, it recently came out, right?
I wonder if it's going to be a Shudder movie.
Right.
So
it might not have been a Shudder newsletter. I'm just trying to remember where I saw it.
Is it actually made by Mexicans?
Yes, it's
okay.
Directed by a guy named Yabro Bustamante. It's got all Latin casts. So, in Guatemala, Alma is murdered with her children during a military attack. 30 years later, the general who ordered the genocide is found not guilty. Alma comes back to the world of the living to torment General Enrique.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not going to be hard to top the Conjuring universe one, because that was real bad, I thought.
Yeah, after you guys said that, I kind of
weren't great.
Had no, because I mean,
it's acceptable.
I didn't think it was acceptable.
It was mildly cromulent.
It was I love the story of La Llorona, and I was really hoping
I like Linda Cardellini.
I just hope somebody was going to make something that did it justice, and it was so far off base.
A little bland.
Well, I mean, it took this. It does those things that Hollywood does, where it takes a foreign concept and Americanizes it, because they think that, like, in order for it to sell, it has to have Americans at the heart of it.
Yep.
And it just didn't really work for me at the time, because all the Latino characters in that movie were stereotyped in order to what an American thinks a Latino might be.
Right.
And they put the white girl in the middle of it and her children. So I thought I didn't think it was terrible, but at the same time, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. All right, so we did it. We did the news.
We did the news. So
our shit out.
Is it time for Amy's book corner or Annie's porn corner?
I haven't really. God, I've had a really hard time with reading lately.
I am about finished with Thomas Tyron's Harvest Home. First time read for me. I know a lot of people, it's like a classic horror novel, but I'm just discovering it. And I'm just about finished. And I'll tell you, if you're a fan of Midsummer, I highly recommend it. It's also got some Stephen King vibes in it too.
Someone recommended that to me quite some time ago, and I got it from the library, and I started it, and I read like the first 3 pages, and it wasn't bad or anything. It wasn't that, but I just sort of stopped reading it and have never gone back to it.
You had a hard time with it,
I've been having a hard time with it because it's not a very
fast paced.
It's mostly it has a lot in common with The Shining in that the first part of it is just atmosphere.
I don't mind that.
And you can get 300 pages into this book, which is slightly
on the fear.
slightly over halfway through the book, and you're still not really, you don't have traction. So if that's something if you can't handle like giving a book that long to really hit its stride, then it's going to be a real hard read. But once it hits its stride, I'm glad I really am happy I didn't give up on it, because I almost I tried reading the other is another book by the same author, and it's one I started and I put away because I was like, oh, I can't get into this. I couldn't put.
Didn't you read that novel like To the Devil a Daughter?
Oh, was that him too?
I think so, maybe.
I mean, he's a great writer, and also he uses really uncommon words. So if you like kind of learning while you read, like learning weird colloquialisms, and
I love to learn.
Like cooking your beans.
It's so New England. It's like there's stuff in there that is just super New Englandy.
Like
Happy Crappy.
Cook's clam chowder.
It's covered in clam chowder. Like clam chowder oozes out of it. Just even the digital edition has clam chowder oozing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Chowder.
It's just a creamy, fishy mess.
And I'm actually having a lot of trouble watching porn right now.
Yeah.
Considering. So I'm putting the porn on the back burner.
Well, that's just because your internet connection.
Positive penis.
No, that's a lie. I watch porn every day.
Er day.
I watch porn every day.
All day, every day.
I've been like for reading, I'm just having trouble kind of I need stupid shit. So I don't even want to admit some of the stuff I'm reading.
It's hard to send out words, Amy.
It is hard. Pick my nose.
Math is hard too, right, Amy?
Oh, well, math actually that is something that I do have a hard time with. Thank you very much. Yeah, so do we want to move on to the next
feedback
thing?
So to the next phase of our world.
Yeah.
If you want to contact the show.
On to the feedback.
The feedback. If you want to contact the show, it's crew@notlp.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter as NOTLP. Instagram is Night of the Living Podcast. You can also get Lewis if you go to @LewisFowler on Twitter.
FOWLER.
So
thank you.
And you can call the show 513-666-0456 if you want to leave us a voicemail.
Like you think I know.
I did want to say that the Bone Bat Film Festival is coming up, which is something we've never been able to attend before.
Yeah,
because it's in the West. But yeah, they're doing a virtual one, and and I want to say thank you to them for giving us passes to attend October 10th and 11th.
Ooh, thank you.
It's a comedy film festival. Everyone I know who has attended says it's fantastic. This is their 10th year of doing it, and it's supposed to be a whole lot of laughs. So I can't wait for that.
Do you like to laugh?
What a whole lot of laughs. Meow.
So if you go to Bone Bat, which is BONEBAT.
Spell just how you think.
Eventive, which is EVENTIVE.org.
Just Google Bone Bat.
How you think.
Or Google Bone Bat Comedy of Horrors Film Festival.
Why do you think people need an exact URL? It's called Google.
HTTPS.
Oh, here we go.
It's secured.
/ www.
I'll murder you.
Period.
He's like somebody's grandpa. He's like, well, what you're gonna want to do is log into AOL.
Does somebody want to? I have other emails, but does somebody want to look at social media and see if there's anything we want to address while I'm doing this?
What did you just say?
Check. Can you check like Facebook and Twitter replies?
Yes.
So we have an email from Jessica. Jessica L. Ken.
Oh, that's my buddy.
She's great.
Hi, Jessica.
Kendra and Barbie Save Tiger King. She says, hello, love the podcast. I have a movie recommendation for you all. It's called Kendra and Barbie Save Tiger King. Now, I'm not exactly sure what it is about, but after watching the trailer, I can say that none other than Leslie Jordan voices the character Lil Joe in the movie, and you just can't go wrong with Leslie Jordan. And I agree with that. Leslie Jordan's one of my favorites.
I believe I brought this up on the first episode I was here.
Oh, yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah, I reviewed it for the Lost Snuggle, the website I work for. It's terrible, but you should watch it. Basically, by these two trailer park women that are these things to the whole movie. So they're watching on TV on the Big Pussy Network, by the way, the Tiger King story. So basically what they did was they took two old movies from the 70s about a kid lost in the jungle and had Leslie Jordan voice the little Tiger King kid and say things like, "Oh no, I stepped in the elephant poo." You know, stuff like that.
That doesn't sound awful to me. That sounds amazing.
I'm on board 100%.
That's the whole movie, and it's terrible, but you should watch it anyway.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
and they have a Zoom interview with one of the Tiger King guys in the documentary.
They do in the movie. They do.
Yeah, it's a Zoom interview in the movie.
That's fun.
It seems like something I would laugh at instead of laughing with.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, you know.
So we had.
Oh no! Look at that tiger's anus. It's huge.
Get the pickles and the ketchup. Kevin Korpi left a comment on one of our recent origins. By the way, patreon.com/NOTLP. You can listen to our older episodes from way back. This is one from 12 years ago he's commenting on that says, Trapped Ashes seemed like it was produced by horny producers. Every plot revolved around sex and has nudity. Was this made for TV on Cinemax or something? Nudity isn't bad, but cheap storyline and so-so acting plus nudity, just for the sake of it, is meh. Agreed. Trapped
I don't
Ashes.
remember this movie at all.
It was a anthology film, I believe. That was a roulette selection, so not all of us saw it. But I would not be surprised if it was like a softcore late night cable.
You know the direction. That movie was directed by Joe Dante, Ken Russell, and Sean S. Cunningham.
Oh, that was Trapped Ashes.
Yeah.
Wow. Then they are horny.
They are horny.
Those dudes are horny. I know Joe Dante, constant boner with that guy.
What?
And Ken Russell directed a lot of
I love Ken
erotic
Russell
stuff.
He did Lair of the White Worm, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I love that movie.
And Sean S. Cunningham probably hides
the Devils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my dad was a big Ken Russell fan.
Yeah.
It's weird. It was like one of his favorite directors, and his stuff is so strange.
He did Tommy by the Who.
Oh, that was Ken Russell?
Yeah, Tommy. He did Alter States. Remember Alter States?
Yeah, Alter States was really
John
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the 90s, he did a lot of erotic stuff with Teresa Russell.
Who wouldn't like to do a lot of erotic stuff with Teresa Russell?
Well, on film mostly.
Okay.
There's an email from my therapist.
Oh yeah, we need
Pointing out to you something they wish we would cover.
Yeah, I have one other email. It's from Jimmy B. He sent it to me specifically, but he said, I started listening to Hometown Tales a long time ago when you maintained. What's wrong with my brain? When you mentioned on NOTLP that it was your favorite podcast. I just looked at their podcast feed randomly about a week ago and saw that they've put out 6 or 7 new episodes since April. Just wanted to let you know in case you were still interested in the show and didn't know they were doing them again, at least for now. And that's really crazy that they took years and years and years off and they still have the same feed and everything. Hometown Tales is just one of the OG podcasts. They were around maybe before us.
I think definitely. A little bit before us, yeah.
And they tell stories. They're 2 guys from New Jersey that have people send in their local legends, and they discuss them, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's very informal. They're really interesting guys and super nice. But check that out if you have never listened to Hometown Tales.
That is exciting.
I'm going to have to dig in and re-listen.
Can I do a brief, not a book coroner, but an Amy's podcast recommend coroner?
Mm-hmm.
If you're into the true crime podcast, like I know so many of you are, because that's the new Ugg boots and North Face jacket. You love your true crime podcast and your PSLs, or your White Claws if you're me. I don't like PSL. Anyway,
live, laugh, love,
and listen to murder podcasts. So one that has been really good and it's ongoing right now is the Piketon Massacre, which is about the Roden family murder massacre on their land up in probably not like an hour and a half away from us.
Mm-hmm.
Which happened back in I forget what year, 4 or 5 years ago, and. I mean, it was very local. It was very much in the news when anything
the 2
happens.
farms, the 2 drug dealers.
Well, they found weed on the farm, but like, were they drug dealers? Is this a cartel? Was this a family thing? Blah blah blah. And it goes into the investigation for something that I feel like I heard about every day. Around when it happened, I didn't know much about it, so it's a really good breakdown of the case, and you get to hear Cherie Palello. They pull out some Cincinnati. They pull some Cincinnati people in Cincinnati news. You can hear some of it, and if you're into local news, like we are.
Are you on it?
No.
She's in the documentary. She's prominently featured.
I've been arrested.
Did they ever make like a series about that baby shower shooting?
Oh, the one up the street
where she wasn't even really pregnant.
The baby shower.
That was like one of the most Lifetime movie-esque stories.
That was a couple miles up the road by the Outback. To mention the Outback,
by the Outback place on Redskin Road.
Redskin over there.
Baby shower of blood.
You could smell the blooming onions in the air.
It's a mass shooting. Gunpowder. They did arrest
smell the blooming onions in the air.
They did what?
They have arrested people. I don't know if anybody's been actually like all the way convicted.
I do feel like when that story is all said and done, that would be a very interesting podcast series.
Oh, I'm sure there's layers upon layers of bullshit.
Especially they played off as a comedy.
Yeah.
Let's hope they do. Let's get Adam Sandler on that. Like do a comedy true crime podcast.
Yeah, he'll play all the roles.
You guys ever listen to Done Disappeared?
Get Marlon Wayans.
Done Disappeared.
Yes,
that's a fun show.
A great show. Yeah,
yeah. It's a spoof of the true crime podcast that it was.
Oh, Done Disappeared. No, I thought you were talking about Up and Vanished. Sorry.
Oh, this is like a spoof of that.
Right.
Where like the guy who did it, it's just
that show got up so much up its own ass. Like we had to stop listening to it.
Little bit.
It's like a pro-am spoof of that, but they had like fake ads. Like they would do like talk about like mutilated Marines and mutilated. Would I say
You said mutilated Marines, but you meant remains.
A meringue, mutilated meringues.
You said rutabaga.
They would say like stuff about mutilated remains and then follow it up with like Blue Apron, like and it's so funny. Like they also talk about like there's a super dramatic moment where they're introducing her getting this ice cream cake from a grocery store, and then they just find it in a parking spot in the grocery store lot, and they're like, she done disappeared. And every time someone talks about it, they're like, yep, she done disappeared.
I know that there's lots of people like, well, should we be glorifying the cops in our popular culture? Should we be using murder for entertainment? Listen, these are things. Should we?
Should we?
And I'm reading a book right now.
Should we eat tacos 3 times a week?
Oh God, tacos. No, exactly. And I'm reading a book right now that kind of delves into pop culture.
I'm not going to glorify the cops, but I'm going to keep using murder as entertainment.
About how in history we've kind of always loved our crime stories and exploited them and used them for entertainment. It's called Popular Crime by Bill James. It's not great, but it's fine. Anyway, if you wanted to read that. Any whoosies. That was sort
I'm
of
Bill
like
James, bitch.
That was sort of like a book corner ensconced in a podcast corner.
Oh my goodness. Wheels within wheels.
Fuck yeah, motherfucker. All right, what else we got?
Oh, speaking of wheels, do you remember Bennigan's used to have this burger that had a wheel of cheese on it?
I've never been to Bennigan's.
Oh, it was like a fried wheel of cheese, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had like American cheese, but then it had also like a mozzarella wheel that was breaded and fried.
Yeah, fried, yeah. Bennigan's, that's where they had Monte Cristos too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to DoorDash immediately upon this being
I'm
over.
so hungry.
All right, let's go. What else we got?
That's all the email. Do we have anything from Facebook,
really.
Twitter, or anything?
Lots of likes and loves and hellos and how's you doing?
So much love to y'all. Our meetups, if you are not a patron, I think my favorite reason to be a patron is our weekly Zoom meetups, which are life-affirming, wonderful things. And of any level of patron, you can participate in those. We do them every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
it's a great chit chat fest.
We've been just chit chatting. We were watching stuff, but now we're just mostly like, just making each other laugh.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Looking at everybody's doggies and kitties and houses.
And again, everybody's welcome.
Yep. Except for
Mexicans.
Right. No, I got a list of people who are not allowed. It
You have a
starts
private
with all the
list?
Trumps.
Oh, okay.
Moves
All
down.
the Trump family.
Could you
Moves
imagine? I
down
don't think
to-
any of our patrons are Trump supporters, so I'm not too worried about
just
that.
know that if you are a Trump supporter and you're planning on voting for him, please, I'll take your money, but you're not allowed in the chat.
If you're a Trump supporter, defund the police.
Defund the police.
You can come in and play. Just don't let us know.
Can I yell at you?
And then we can try to sway you to a better decision.
Yeah.
You technically are inviting them to come in and try to cause trouble with you.
Yeah,
now.
I guess you're right. I don't think we have any Trump supporters listening, and if we do, fuck yourself. All right, what else we got?
That's all I've got.
That's all the news that's fit to print.
I've got a brand new pair of roller skates.
I got a brand new key.
Get out of here! Are you serious?
No, I'm for real, man.
What a weird coincidence that the same week.
I think we should get together.
and try them on to see.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm having lunch with my friend Melanie. You think we can schedule it around that?
I got a brand new pair of roller skates.
Oh, you know what I tried the other day and it was really good?
Are you pulling up
Heroin?
the list?
It was heroin, yeah. Buried the lead.
Regular or just black tar?
Freddie.
No, I took a lime and I had a coconut.
Is this really where you were going with that?
Did you call the doctor afterwards?
I did. And I said, doctor.
Did you have a tummy ache after you did that?
I did.
Oh, see? You're such a silly woman.
I put the Ernie in Alise, then I shook him up.
At the end of every show, we say hi to our...
That's where we've progressed to. So we said Ernie and Alise, my love.
Yep, these are our Beelzebubs, which are top tier patrons. Really, who keep the wheels greased here with all their grease.
Who are you going to put in the coconut?
I'm going to put Amanda Geletko in a coconut and Jeremy and Cassie Burmeister.
They get their own coconut.
They get a separate coconut because they booked in advance.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, can we get the king size coconut? And I'm like, yeah, I'll sleep on the air coconut.
Yeah.
That's a camp reference.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Watts, Blake Heath, Bill Farner,
Bunch of coconut babies.
Tree and Alex McNulty.
Bill Farner was my favorite drummer at Grand Funk Railroad, by the way.
He was really good. You know, I'm going to just put a pin in where we're at on the list right now for just a second.
You're going to put a pin in Iona Goodwin?
I'm going to put a pin in her.
Iona, great one. Coconut.
And I forgot what I was going to say, so...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no! Now I remember. We were talking about the Pina Colada song.
Yes. We.
Amy and I.
Oh.
Remember the other night? We were talking about
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Well, that was the other night. The Pina Colada... the lime and the coconut made me think of this.
Yes.
The Pina Colada song, The Escape.
Yes. Rupert Holmes.
I hate that song.
You do?
Why?
I don't know exactly why, but I think it's because...
It's about a man who cheats on his wife.
No, it's not that. I think it's because
she's trying to cheat on him.
on him too.
Yeah.
That's true. They both cheating. They be cheating. But
to escape.
I think it's because we used to spend 2 nights a week at a karaoke bar. It was a slum hole in the wall bar that had karaoke.
A dive bar.
And every time we were there, at least once a night, somebody would perform Escape. Bless you. Or the Pina Colada song.
I had to whip my lady.
It's 20 years.
We've been together so long. She would barely touch my penis. Wouldn't touch my dong.
I love that. I like your version so much better. But the reason we listened to the Answering Machine song that he did. Have you heard it?
So Freddie and I were a little
I played that on my show a couple of times.
We're a little elevated that night.
It feels like a damaged hearing song.
We were talking about the Pina Colada song, so we were listening to it, and then we were like, "What else did he have?" And then we listened to the Answering Machine song, and it was real dumb.
Yeah, I also hate that song.
He also has a pretty misogynistic song called "Him."
Yeah,
HIM. Yeah, so give that a listen when you get out of here.
I think we did listen to that. Is it about like I can smell him, Or whose cigarettes are those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cheating song. And then but
they're all cheating songs.
Well, the answering machine song is
This guy has been burned.
Yeah, they never resolve the answering machine song.
Where they're trying to propose to each other on the answering machine.
Yeah,
you never know if they say yes or not.
It's
Rupert Holmes, the original men's rights activist.
Yeah.
Sounds like you had some fraught relationships.
Yeah.
Do you like pina coladas, Jeff L?
Did we say Iona Goodwin?
Yeah.
We did. We put a pin in her. Jeff L. Yes. Branan and Emily.
Thank you.
Always so much fun on the meetups. It's selfish of me to hope that your family Zoom meeting is canceled every week because I want you instead, but I understand why. Adam Ingram.
Did you know your name backwards is Marjamada?
My favorite Adam Ingram song.
No, it's not. It's I'm not going to do it now.
It's Marjamada.
It didn't work the way I wanted it to. I'm sorry.
My favorite Adam Ingram song is that song goes, I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. Thank you for that, Adam Ingram.
Margnamada.
I love that song. Bill Chandler.
He's a superhero.
Monica Martinson.
She likes pina coladas.
She does. She likes beer.
She likes beer.
Is that the person that has the Instagram that has a little Star Wars dog thing on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She's a sweetheart and super supportive of the show and other podcasts. She's a champion of podcasters. By the way, Bill Chandler is our ride or die Zoom guy.
He's our ride or die.
Yes, for sure.
He's our bottom bitch.
Without Bill, I don't think those Zoom calls would be nearly as much fun.
No.
Blayne Turner.
Blayne.
Kevin Korpi.
As the world Blayne Turners.
Blayne Turner and Hooch.
I like that better, Kelley.
Do you think, if my last name was Turner, I would try to marry someone named Hooch just to have that wedding invitation.
Hooch is crazy.
The Stone starring Michael Douglas and Blayne Turner.
I love Romancing the Stone.
Kathleen Blayne Turner.
We know that though. We covered it.
Well, there was a
Blayne Turner Overdrive.
Oh, it's still BTO.
There was on A League of Their Own. There was Marla Hooch.
That's right, Marla Hooch.
You guys would look very good together, Freddy.
Thank you. What do you think? Anybody's named Itchy and they married someone named Coochie, and it was the Itchy Coochie wedding?
I hope so.
That'd be great, huh? Okay, our last but not least. I said Kevin Korpi. Yep. Our last but not least, Alyssa Boehm, who sent us pictures of delicious nachos.
She's not going to be happy that she was so close to that joke.
The Itchy Coochie joke?
Oh, Itchy Coochie.
Yeah.
I think Alyssa can appreciate an Itchy Coochie joke. I said Itchy Coochie.
Itchy Coochie.
She was making some really delicious looking,
we were discussing.
She did it the right way, where you put them in the oven.
Acid reflux medications.
Yeah.
I live on Alka-Seltzer. Have since for the last 3 or 4 years.
You know, one of my favorite things is to talk about the time we got home from. I was staying with.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Amy and Freddie, and we got home at your house. We were drunk.
Like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you had rapped the whole way home in the car.
I thought Amy was
making up rap.
I thought Amy was going to try to smother you with a pillow.
I remember this fondly, though.
And we made those trashy nachos. Were just Triscuits.
Oh, that was good.
Slice of cheese.
Yeah,
it's just American cheese.
And packets.
Sliced American cheese. Yeah.
What did we have? Packets of taco sauce or something too? There was something we put on.
Just a bunch of fire sauces from the drawer.
Yeah,
it probably was. Yeah, but it was just Triscuits and slices of cheese melted in a microwave.
Does the trick.
It was so good.
When you're stuck, man. You got to make do with what you have. That's a survivalist motto.
I have lots of fun coming home from Horror Hound in the middle of the night. Stories like when Andy's car broke down at the Taco Bell.
That wasn't so fun.
Or when I drove off with the gas hose still in my car.
Yeah, that was me, Kelley, and Freddie coming back from Indianapolis.
Oh yes.
So many fun.
I lost my shoe.
You lost your shoe.
That was a legendary story when you came back without your shoe. And then
he farted that one time.
Big Tall Charlie. The Mambo number 5 fart.
Oh yes.
Because we were it was the alarm, the radio, clock radio went off in the hotel room, and Kelley was next to me, and he was just farting and laughing, and Mambo number 5 was playing on the radio at top
Well,
volume.
I woke up hearing it, and it just
yeah,
it was the most ridiculous thing that had ever happened. Like waking up to it just was hilarious. And yes, I farted sort of at the same time.
And then
so it was all the more hilarious. It was all the more tragic in that they were young.
And then after Kelley lost his shoe, Big Tall Charlie showed up with no shoes.
That's right.
At the hotel, and we're like, "Where are your shoes?"
Did you ever find your shoe?
Kelly?
No.
Was it in the
I went
parking
out and
lot?
bought new shoes the next that afternoon.
Yeah.
Were you the man with one red shoe?
You got in so much trouble.
New shoes.
I did.
So I never heard the story about the gas thing, Freddie, where you drove out the gas handle.
Yeah.
You see that in movies. What happens in real life when you drive off with the gas handle still attached to your car?
It popped out.
It popped
luckily.
out.
Like because I guess
like a baby's head.
I turned at the correct angle. However, I have seen people tear them out of the pump when they do that. I was lucky.
So when you were in the car and so the thing pumps out, it's still pumping gas. You have a cigarette. You're like, I'm gonna quit these things. They're gonna kill me. You throw it in back. You're still driving, but the gas station explodes.
Yeah, it was. We actually we went out for smoothies and we had a gasoline fight. That's my favorite scene in Zoolander. If anyone wants to buy me anything for Christmas,
it's also my favorite scene. Maybe
it is a pretty great moment,
which I only just recently saw for the first time.
Yeah, I've never seen Zoolander. Something tells me it can't be as good.
No.
All right, cool. Well, we did it, you guys.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Did it. Now I can eat.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm gonna head downstairs here momentarily and
Go
make
to
like
town.
a tree and get out of here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lewis, did you have fun with us again?
Every year, of course I do.
And if
Thank you,
if you
man.
want to do anything for the Patreon, let me know. We can always get together and do a bonus something or other.
Yeah, sounds good.
We keep talking about. We've had a lot of people recommend the Vast of Night. Am I saying that right? And ask that we do a show on that. So that might be something fun.
Maybe sometime next year. I really want to do like the Indigenous Horror Month too.
Oh yeah,
I'd be down with that.
So, but thank you very much for having me every year. I always appreciate it. I love you guys, and you can follow me on twitter.com/Lewis Fowler, LOUISFOWLER, and you can read my stuff multiple times a week at the Lost Ogle. That's TheLostOgle.com. And if you have extra money, become an Ogle Mole and support the website.
Sounds good.
Yes.
We love you.
Love you.
Yeah.
I have love in my heart
I have so much love.
for my Kashi Buenos Amigos.
in your heart. You're my Kashi good friend. You're my Kashi.
You're my
Best
Cassie
friends.
Buenos Amigos.
Bye.
All right.
That's the wrong song.
It sure is.
Freddie played the comic song. Freddie is an idiot.
No.
I might be.
Oh, damn.
I might be a fool.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on Dawn of the Dead. And Igor made the nachos in a severed human head, and they enjoy the movie with their friends. David Kessler walks the streets of London on four legs, while high above him Ellen Ripley finds some funny eggs. And Freddie laughs at Nancy in her nightmares as she begs to have